The aroma of street food wafted through the bustling night market, a chaotic symphony of sizzling grease and sweet glazes. Kevin blew gently on the steaming skewer of octopus balls in his hand before taking a cautious bite. "Slow down. Don't burn yourself," a deep voice rumbled beside him. A heavy arm draped possessively over Kevin's shoulder, pulling him closer. Another skewer was thrust toward Kevin's lips. "Here, try mine." The man holding the skewer was tall, with a face that could only be described as devastatingly handsome. Even in a crushing crowd, Nicholas stood out like a beacon. His striking appearance drew lingering stares from everyone around them, but he paid them no mind. His dark eyes were focused entirely on Kevin, his expression making it clear that he wouldn't retract his hand until Kevin ate the offering. Kevin opened his mouth and took a bite. "It's not bad, right?" Nicholas grinned, pulling the skewer back and biting down on the exact spot Kevin had just eaten from, showing zero hesitation or boundary. Kevin lowered his eyes. The octopus balls in his hand were snatched away by Nicholas, and when they were returned a moment later, the top one, the one Kevin had nibbled on, was gone. The thief hummed a happy tune, continuing to steer Kevin through the crowd with an arm clamped around him, as if his limb were permanently grafted to Kevin's body. To the outside world, Nicholas was the icy, unapproachable campus god. But to Kevin, that distance was non-existent. They shared bowls of noodles, swapped clothes, and slept in the same bed. Kevin could do anything to Nicholas, and it would be allowed. They were best friends, after all. Kevin knew that as long as he didn't step on Nicholas's biggest landmine, Nicholas would never push him away. And that landmine was, "What a coincidence, you guys are here too." A voice came from behind them. Kevin stopped and turned to see a young man with a delicate, clean-cut face. The face seemed familiar. After a moment, Kevin realized this was a classmate Nicholas had met after starting university, someone who could be considered a friend. The young man said it was a coincidence, but the surprise on his face looked rehearsed. It didn't feel like a chance encounter. It felt like he had been waiting there for a long time. "What's up?" Nicholas asked, his tone flat. The boy didn't speak immediately. His gaze dropped to Nicholas's hand, which was still firmly gripping Kevin's shoulder. When he looked at Kevin, a flash of hostility flickered in his eyes, though he quickly masked it with a shy smile. "Could you give us a second? I have something I want to say to Nicholas alone." Kevin nodded. He reached up to remove Nicholas's hand from his shoulder and pointed toward a nearby strip mall. "I'll go wait over TH." Before he could finish, Nicholas grabbed his hand, stopping him mid-gesture. The bright, open expression Nicholas wore only for Kevin vanished instantly. He looked at the delicate boy with a blank, cold stare, the distance returning to his deep-set eyes. "If you have something to say, just say it. If not, I'm leaving," Nicholas said bluntly. Kevin had a vague guess about the boy's intentions. He tried to pull his hand out of Nicholas's grip, but Nicholas only squeezed tighter. Seeing that the two wouldn't be separated, the boy gritted his teeth and spoke anyway. He was a head shorter than Nicholas, and when he looked up, he adopted a look of pure, innocent vulnerability. "Nicholas, I've liked you for a long time. Can you give me a chance?" The boy stared into Nicholas's dark eyes, his heart pounding with nervousness. He hadn't wanted to confess in front of an audience, but he had known Nicholas for a long time, and aside from class, Nicholas was either with Kevin or on his way to Kevin. Nicholas simply never stopped to listen to anyone else. Nicholas's voice held no emotion. "I thought everyone around me knew I don't like men." "I know." The boy bit his lip, glancing at Kevin. Of course, he knew Nicholas was homophobic. But if he was so repulsed by same-sex attraction, why was he glued to Kevin 24/7, guarding him like a treasure? It was precisely because of Nicholas's relationship with Kevin that the boy had doubted Nicholas's orientation. If he didn't act now, these two might just end up together. The boy tried again. "I won't disturb your friendship. Nicholas, can't you just give me a week? Just to try?" Nicholas didn't bother responding verbally. He looked down and pulled out his phone, his eyes cold. Sensing the shift in atmosphere, the boy took a step back, forcing a smile. "If you're not willing, I won't force it. I'll go back to being just a friend." Kevin stood beside Nicholas. A single glance sideways revealed exactly what Nicholas was doing. He was blocking the boy's number and social media accounts without a shred of hesitation. Once finished, Nicholas looked up, his thin lips curling into a sneer of disgust. I don't accept friends who are attracted to me. It was the height of summer, yet Kevin's hands turned ice cold. They walked back toward the campus in silence. Nicholas still hadn't let go of Kevin's hand. What's wrong? Your hand is freezing, Nicholas asked, frowning. Are you sick? No, I just drank too much cold water. My body temp hasn't regulated yet, Kevin lied, keeping his voice steady. He tried to pull his hand away again. Let go, people will stare. Instead of releasing him, Nicholas gripped him tighter. So what if I hold your hand? Is it illegal? Nicholas smiled, a dangerous glint in his eye, refusing to relax his grip. Kevin was silent for a moment before sighing softly. You're always hugging and touching me. People are going to misunderstand and think you like guys. Even if you clarify, they'll just think you're in the closet, which is why guys keep confessing to you. As the words fell, Kevin felt a familiar weight on his back. The tall young man embraced him from behind, burying his face in the crook of Kevin's neck, his warm breath heating the skin there. Kevin heard the amusement in Nicholas's voice. Why should I care what other people think? You mean just so strangers don't misunderstand? I can't even hug my best friend. When they returned to the dorm, Nicholas was still holding Kevin's hand. The other two roommates, Ethan and George, burst out laughing the moment they walked in. Oh look, Nicholas and Kevin are back from their honeymoon. Ethan cracked. Usually couples say absence makes the heart grow fonder, but you two don't even need the absence. Nicholas, the supposed homophobe, didn't get angry at the joke. Instead, he laughed and tossed the bag of late-night snacks onto the table. Jealous of our love? Here, have some wedding candy. Cheers erupted as the roommates tore into the food. George turned around with a mouthful of food, flashing a thumbs up. Nicholas, Kevin, a match made in heaven. Ethan, reacting late, also gave a thumbs up. Have a baby soon. Have a baby, my ass. Nicholas frowned playfully, wrapping an arm around Kevin's waist. Don't listen to their nonsense. Kevin froze, about to speak, when Nicholas laughed again, returning to his joking demeanor. He patted Kevin's stomach. Even without a baby, we're perfectly in love. Get off me. Kevin snapped, his patience fraying as he shoved Nicholas away. After showering, Kevin climbed into his bed, surrounding himself with the scent of soap and steam. Below, Ethan and George were laughing over a video game. Kevin buried his face in his pillow, trying to relax his tense muscles. On the walk back, it wasn't just his hands that were cold, his heart was freezing too. Seeing Nicholas block a friend without hesitation, simply because that friend had romantic feelings, terrified him. Because Kevin liked Nicholas too. Without him even realizing it, the friendship had curdled into something else. By the time he noticed, it was a wildfire he couldn't put out. He couldn't go back to just being friends, but he couldn't move forward either. Nicholas was undeniably straight. He could accept jokes, but he would never accept genuine love from another man. If Nicholas ever discovered his secret, they were finished. The dorm lights went out, plunging the room into darkness. Ethan and George climbed into their bunks, though the faint sound of their gaming headsets lingered. Kevin lay there with his eyes closed, his mind a mess. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from beside him. He opened his eyes to see his bed curtain being lifted. A tall shadow climbed up from the ladder. Kevin didn't need to see. He knew exactly who was crawling into his bed in the middle of the night. Nicholas skillfully lifted Kevin's blanket and slid inside. The single dorm bed was narrow. With two tall men squeezing in, the space was suffocatingly small. Kevin tried to inch away to create some breathing room, but Nicholas immediately wrapped him in a bear hug, adjusting his position until he was comfortable, then stopped, satisfied. Kevin tolerated it for a moment, then couldn't take the heat. He pushed Nicholas away. Damn it, it's summer. Aren't you hot? Oh, our top student is swearing. Nicholas chuckled, keeping his voice low. Hot. The AC is on. Besides, I'm a human cooling pad. Seeing Nicholas trying to snuggle closer again, Kevin pressed a hand against Nicholas's chest to stop him. He tried to scare him off. If you keep sleeping like this, be careful. One day I might fall for you and start touching your face while you sleep. Nicholas went quiet. Kevin wondered if the threat was too much, if he had stepped on the landmine. Then, Nicholas spoke again. His tone lifted at the end, sounding not angry, but delighted. Is that a promise? Kevin's hand was grabbed and placed firmly against Nicholas's cheek. The iron-willed straight man was truly lawless. Kevin couldn't take it anymore. He pulled his hand back and rolled over to face the wall, leaving his back to Nicholas. At least this way, if his body reacted, Nicholas wouldn't notice immediately. Nicholas chuckled and wrapped his arms around Kevin from behind again. Kevin could feel the steady beat of Nicholas's heart against his back, a rhythm that disrupted his own. He regulated his breathing and closed his eyes. He had to hide his feelings completely. No matter how much he loved Nicholas, all he could show was friendship. He hoped his acting skills were good enough. Otherwise, he would have to distance himself. He prayed that day would never come. When Kevin opened his eyes the next morning, the first thing he saw was a familiar, handsome face. Nicholas was already awake, staring at him intently. "What are you looking at?" Kevin pushed the man away, trying to calm his racing heart. "Scaring people first thing in the morning. Which horror movie did you learn that from?" Nicholas grinned. "I feel like your eyelashes are 0.02 millimeters longer than they were in high school." Kevin sat up, kicking the still-lying Nicholas. "Stop talking nonsense. I have class. Move your legs so I can get down." Nicholas hooked his foot around Kevin's ankle. "What's the rush? Let's go together." They weren't in the same major. Kevin studied law, Nicholas studied finance. Kevin didn't know how Nicholas managed it, but since freshman year, the finance major had practically lived in the law dorms. Even in college, they saw each other constantly. 10 minutes before class, Kevin walked into the lecture hall with Nicholas trailing behind him. After finding a seat and saving spots for his roommates, Kevin heard a girl in the front row teasing him. "Kevin, brought your spouse to class again?" "Yeah," the spouse answered before Kevin could speak. "We're conjoined twins. Separating hurts." Kevin shot Nicholas a look. Nicholas smiled and zipped his lips, resting his head on the desk to watch Kevin review his notes. The class was used to it. If finance didn't have a class, the campus god would inevitably appear next to Kevin. The bell rang. The room quieted down, filled only with the professor's voice and the scratching of pens. Kevin was usually focused, but it was hard to concentrate when the person next to him was doing nothing but staring at him, especially when that person was his secret crush. Kevin reached out and covered Nicholas's eyes with one hand, whispering, "Stop staring. Listen to the lecture." Nicholas grabbed the hand covering his eyes, pulled it down to his own lap, and held it there. Only then did he look away. When the bell rang for the end of class, Nicholas stood up. He had his own class next. "I'm leaving. Don't go secretly meeting girls who like you while I'm gone. At least wait until I'm there." Kevin waved him off. As Nicholas disappeared out the door, Kevin looked up. If Nicholas knew who he actually liked, he certainly wouldn't be giving that advice. Kevin smiled bitterly. If only he liked girls. He wouldn't have to live in fear of being discovered. The day ended smoothly. Nicholas didn't come to the law building. He went to the basketball courts. The interdepartmental tournament was on, finance versus law. Both were on their respective teams. Nicholas sat on the bench tying his shoelaces when a teammate sat down heavily next to him. "Nicholas, let me ask you something." The teammate lowered his voice conspiratorially. "I asked around, and you're the only one who'd know." Nicholas didn't look up. "What?" The teammate grinned. "You're close with Kevin from law. Does he have a girlfriend?" Nicholas paused mid-knot. He turned his head slowly. "Why?" "Well, I have a friend. She really likes Kevin, but never gets a chance to talk to him. She wants to bring him water during the game today. Could you help out? Maybe give them some space to talk." Nicholas didn't speak. The corners of his mouth turned down slightly. Oblivious, the teammate pressed on. "She's really pretty, nice personality. No harm in chatting, right?" "He doesn't plan on dating right now," Nicholas said. "It's fine, girls chasing guys is easy. Just a nudge. Move." Nicholas stood up and walked toward the vending machine. Behind him, the teammates laughed. "You asked Nicholas to introduce a girlfriend to his wife? Bold move, man. You're asking him to cuckold himself. You're done for. If you don't introduce me to a girl, you aren't leaving this court alive today." The straight guys laughed, none of them taking the wife joke seriously. They all knew Nicholas was straight as an arrow. The game was intense, the score tight. But the finance team had the height advantage. In the final seconds, finance scored a three-pointer and won. Kevin sat on the bench, panting slightly, wiping sweat from his forehead with a wristband. His skin was fair, and the sheen of sweat made him look like polished jade rather than messy. Amidst the noise of celebration, Kevin felt incredibly thirsty. In the past, he would have just grabbed Nicholas's water. But since his feelings had changed, he restrained himself. A bottle of chilled water appeared before him, held by a delicate hand. Kevin looked up to see a girl with shoulder-length black hair and glasses. She smiled shyly. "This is for you." Kevin glanced around. People were watching, grinning with amusement. The girl looked nervous. Kevin took the water. "Thank you." "You're welcome." She smiled. "Do you remember me? You helped me out of a jam near the library last semester. Just passing by. Don't worry about it." Even though he was thirsty, Kevin didn't open the bottle. I wanted to thank you. Are you free tonight?" Before she could finish, a half-drunk bottle of sports drink slammed down on the bench next to Kevin. A large arm draped over Kevin's shoulder, and the owner of the arm sat down heavily. "Bought it for you. Your favorite flavor. Drink up, bro." Kevin was too thirsty to argue. He picked up Nicholas's bottle. But a thought struck him. Nicholas had drunk from this. If he drank now, it was an indirect kiss. Would he be able to control his expression? Would he look like a pervert? His hesitation lasted only a second, but it was enough. Nicholas grabbed him by the neck and pulled him close. "Disgusted by my spit? I can't even count how much of yours I've consumed," Nicholas said, his voice low but loud enough for the girl to hear. The girl froze. She looked at Kevin, then at Nicholas. Suddenly, her eyes widened as if she realized something profound. Sorry to disturb you. I wish you happiness." She fled. Nicholas finally smirked. "Great," Kevin said. "Now you're misunderstood as gay again. Let them misunderstand." "It's not like it makes me gay," Nicholas said, watching with satisfaction as Kevin drained the half-empty bottle. The courts were far from the dorms. Too lazy to walk, they rented the only available shared bike. Kevin sat on the back rack, holding Nicholas's waist as he pedaled. Nicholas was unusually quiet until they reached a secluded path. "Kevin, confess now, and I'll be lenient," Nicholas said. "Explain yourself, or don't blame me for getting rough." "Explain what?" Kevin asked, leaning his head against Nicholas's back. "How do you know that girl? Learning to date behind Daddy's back now." "No," Kevin replied. "While you were in class once, I went to the library. Some guys were bothering her, so I stepped in." Nicholas was silent for a moment. "That time you had a bruise and told me you hit a table. Was it from that?" "Yeah." Nicholas pedaled in silence until they exited the dark path. "Do you like her?" Kevin looked at the back of Nicholas's head. His clueless crush was interrogating him about other girls. "No." "Stop overthinking," Kevin said slowly. "I helped you fight back in high school too. Did we become a couple?" Nicholas relaxed visibly. "Becoming a couple with me is easy. We can consummate the marriage tonight. Sleep in my bed." Kevin slapped Nicholas's back. Nicholas didn't care. The air felt fresher now. He used to be a rebel. His parents sent him to a small-town school to discipline him. Kevin was the class monitor, a boring good student. Nicholas thought he could break him with one finger. Until one day, Nicholas got jumped by local thugs. Kevin rode past on his bike, jumped off, helped him fight, and then rode away without a word. Nicholas was fascinated. They went from acquaintances to inseparable. Nicholas studied hard just to get into the same university. And now, a threat had appeared. "Kevin," Nicholas said seriously. "Don't date for now." "Look, I'm not dating either." "Why?" Kevin withdrew his hands from Nicholas's waist. "Just because big bro isn't dating, I can't." Nicholas grabbed Kevin's hands and pulled them back around his waist. "You aren't my little brother, you're my ancestor. I'm not dating, so you don't date. We stick together. No one gets left behind." Kevin closed his eyes, listening to the wind. "You're losing out. You're the campus god. Whatever. Do you promise?" "Fine." Kevin said it, but he didn't take it seriously. If that were true, Nicholas would be single forever. Back at the dorm, Kevin went to shower. Nicholas sat at his desk, scrolling through his phone. Smiling, he opened the anonymous campus forum. The top posts were exploding. *help. I'm straight but my boyfriend has to be straight too. *Kevin appreciation thread. *risking my life to post new pics of God Nicholas. Nicholas clicked the first one. It was a photo from the game, heavily edited with pink bubbles and red lines connecting their eyes. *OP. Look at this eye contact. If they're just friends, I'll eat my shoe. The photo was ridiculously pink, but seeing Kevin's face paired with his made Nicholas laugh. He saved the photo. He scrolled down, saving more fan edits. He didn't mind the jokes. Then he clicked the Kevin appreciation thread. It was full of photos of Kevin looking stunning. Nicholas saved every single one. He scrolled past the compliments until his face darkened. Asterisk a sissy. Only girls with no taste like him. Disgusting. Asterisk. Asterisk so pretty. Bet he cries if you punch him. Asterisk rich boy better bring bodyguards. Nicholas frowned. He clicked the report button for harassment. Then he heard angry typing. Ethan was furiously tapping on his phone. Ethan jumped. Nicholas. You're here. You looking at that thread? Ethan sighed. Yeah. Some trash talking about Kevin. I think we should keep it from him. The bathroom door opened. Kevin walked out, drying his hair. Need me to bring in the laundry from the balcony? Yes. Ethan said, changing the subject. I'll repay you with my body. Pass. I have a main wife, no concubines, Kevin joked. Watching Kevin's back, Nicholas remembered high school. Kevin told him he learned to fight because he was bullied for looking too pretty. Now, the malice was back online. Nicholas stood up. I'm going out. Night had fallen. Two guys were walking down a dark path, laughing. That girl was expensive, one said. You should try the one I found, the garlic-nosed guy replied. Then he sneered. That girl said I was handsome. Duh. Better than that Kevin guy. He looks like a girl. Sissy. They laughed, oblivious to the shadow behind them. Nicholas kicked the first one down. Who the hell? They scrambled up to fight, but it was two against a demon. In seconds, they were groaning on the ground. You like talking trash online? Nicholas stepped on the garlic-nosed guy. You think you can compare to him? You're here for Kevin? How did you find us? I don't need to explain myself to trash. Nicholas turned to leave, but one guy muttered, we just talk. Kevin probably lets you hit it every night. Nicholas stopped. His face went terrifyingly dark. To associate Kevin with such filth. Kevin was pure. He was untouchable. Nicholas turned back around. Kevin lay in bed, waiting for Nicholas's text. He checked the forum and saw the thread about Nicholas. He saved a photo of Nicholas showing abs. He sighed. He knew the texture of those abs. He wanted more, but he had to hide it. Nicholas replied, done with the assignment. Coming back. Kevin relaxed. The next day, the dorm was buzzing with gossip about two guys from engineering getting expelled for soliciting prostitutes. Kevin was studying, but he noticed the bathroom door open a crack. Steam billowed out. Grab my clothes, I forgot them, Nicholas yelled. Kevin sighed, grabbed the clothes, and walked to the door. He looked away, handing the bundle through the crack. Here. Instead of taking the clothes, a wet hand grabbed Kevin's wrist. Leaving so soon. Nicholas laughed. Come in, I'll scrub your back as thanks. No thanks. Kevin tried to pull back, but Nicholas pulled harder. The door swung open. Steam hit Kevin's face. Nicholas stood there, gloriously naked, water dripping down his muscles. Kevin froze. Did he see? Did he react? Nicholas poked his head out, eyes crinkling. Kevin, we've been friends for years. Why are you still so shy? Great. He noticed nothing. Don't be a pervert in broad daylight, Kevin said, slamming the door. Back at his desk, Kevin tried to focus on criminal law, his heart hammering. Click. The door opened. Nicholas walked out, wearing only sweatpants. He spun Kevin's chair around. What's more interesting than me? Nicholas complained. I'm jealous. Kevin stared at the bare chest in front of him. I gave you a shirt. Yeah, but how can I tease you if I wear it? Nicholas leaned in, trapping Kevin. Come on. You saw mine. Let me see yours. You're being unreasonable, Kevin said, pushing him away. I told you I don't like public bathhouses. Then let's go to the private sauna at the gym, Nicholas countered. Just us. Just us. Kevin hesitated. If it was private, maybe he could hide in a corner. Okay. The sauna was small. Kevin realized his mistake immediately. It wasn't a big room where he could hide. It was intimate. Why are you standing there? Nicholas asked. Kevin quickly stripped and got into the small plunge pool, closing his eyes. I'm resting. Hands grabbed his cheeks. Nicholas was squishing his face. What are you doing? Kevin mumbled. Teasing you back. They splashed water at each other like kids until Nicholas pinned him against the wall of the pool. Let me scrub your back. Just the back. Nicholas grinned and hauled Kevin out of the water onto the massage table. Lie down. Technician Nicholas, at your service. Kevin lay down, stiff as a board. Nicholas's hands were hot. Too hot. Kevin, go get my phone, Nicholas said suddenly. Why? Just go. Kevin took the chance to escape. He ran to the locker room, grabbed his things, and waited outside. When Nicholas came out, he looked amused. You ran away. I remembered I had homework. That night, Kevin couldn't sleep. Was Nicholas testing him? Or was he just that straight? He Googled, straight friend touching me too much. Answer. He might be deep in the closet. Kevin decided to test him. He invited Nicholas to a movie the next day. The movie had a subtle gay subplot where two male friends realize they love each other, but never act on it. In the theater, Kevin watched Nicholas. Nicholas watched the movie, unfazed. He drank Kevin's Coke. We share everything. Who cares? After the movie, Kevin asked, what did you think? Sweet romance movie. Did you? Notice the two guys. The friends? Yeah, solid bromance. He didn't see it. He was truly straight. Then Nicholas opened his phone. Hey, people edit photos of those actors. He showed Kevin a fan-made picture of the two actors kissing. Nicholas frowned. Ugh. Gross. He locked his phone. I feel a bit sick looking at that. Kevin's heart sank. I'll get you some water. He walked away to the concession stand. It was over. No hope. He just had to be the best friend forever. While he waited, Nicholas looked through his own gallery. He found a photo of him and Kevin close together. The nausea vanished. He smiled. He didn't like men. He just liked Kevin. Kevin returned. Here. Thanks. Nicholas grabbed his hand. Let's go buy those clothes. They went to a high-end store. Nicholas tried on a hoodie and called Kevin into the changing room. Help me. With what? It's stuck. Kevin walked in. Nicholas pinned him against the wall. Help me with the zipper. It's a pullover. My pants zipper. Kevin ducked under his arm and fled. You're insane. Nicholas laughed. That night, Nicholas posted a photo of them shopping. Caption, shopping, Kevin's mom commented. Asterisk Nicholas is so handsome. Take care of Kevin. Asterisk Nicholas replied. Don't worry, Annie. I'll take care of him forever. Kevin saw the reply. My parents can see that. So? I mean it. A week later, Kevin received a message from Nicholas's mom. Asterisk Mrs. Lou. Kevin, a friend's daughter at your school likes you. Can you meet her? She's waiting at the milk tea shop. Asterisk Kevin didn't want to go, but he didn't want to be rude. He went to the shop. The girl, Jessica, was nice. She was wearing a skirt in winter. Kevin offered his coat, but she declined, revealing flesh-colored leggings. Are you and Nicholas a couple? She asked bluntly. No. Just friends. Do you like girls? I'm focusing on my studies. Suddenly, a hand clamped onto Kevin's shoulder. Nicholas stood there, eyes blazing. He sat down, staring daggers at Jessica. He took Kevin's milk tea and drank from the straw. We share, Nicholas declared. Jessica's eyes widened. She realized she was the third wheel in something complicated. She excused herself. You came to meet a girl? Nicholas growled. Your mom asked me to. My mom. Nicholas paused, then scowled. Don't listen to her. You're too young to date. What kind of girl do you like? Kevin asked suddenly. I don't know. None of them are right, Nicholas said. What about you? Someone who treats me well. I treat you well. Nicholas argued. But that's the bare minimum. They need to be rich, beautiful, and give you their phone password. Kevin laughed. Let's go. Wait. Nicholas pointed at the menu. You know the joke about Bobo tea? No. I want the tea, but no tea. Just Bobo. Kevin smiled. Bobo. Nicholas froze. His brain short-circuited. That night, Nicholas cleared the dorm. When Kevin came out of the shower, Nicholas hugged him. Kevin, I need to tell you something. What? I really liked what we did at the sauna. Can we do it again? Kevin pushed him away. No. It's weird. We should stop doing that kind of stuff. It's not what straight friends do. Nicholas looked like a kicked puppy. Did I do it wrong? No. It's just, I don't like it. Save it for your future wife. Nicholas lay in bed that night, fuming. Wife? Why did he need a wife when he had Kevin? Kevin was pulling away. He could feel it. Winter break approached. Kevin was determined to distance himself. He packed early. I'm going home tomorrow, Kevin said. I'll go with you, Nicholas said. No. Go to your own home. They parted ways at the airport. Kevin felt a sense of relief mixed with sorrow. He went home, cleaned his room, and put all of Nicholas's belongings, the toothbrush, the spare clothes, the photos, into a box and shoved it into the back of the closet. He needed a detox. 3 days later, the doorbell rang. Kevin opened it. Nicholas stood there, grinning, holding a suitcase. Surprise. Kevin was horrified. What are you doing here? I missed you. Nicholas pushed past him, greeting Kevin's parents like he owned the place. He marched into Kevin's room. He stopped. The room was empty of his presence. Where's my stuff? Nicholas asked, his voice low. I packed it away. Since you weren't here. Nicholas walked to the closet, found the box, and unpacked everything. He put the toothbrush back in the bathroom, the clothes back in the drawer, and the photo back on the nightstand. Don't do that again, Nicholas said, hugging Kevin from behind. I'm not going anywhere. Kevin sighed. He couldn't win. They visited their old high school. The campus was empty. They found a swing set. Sit, Nicholas said. It's dirty. Sit on me. Nicholas sat down and patted his lap. Kevin looked around. No one was there. He sat on Nicholas's lap. Nicholas wrapped his arms around Kevin's waist and gently kicked the ground, swinging them back and forth. This is nice, Nicholas whispered into Kevin's neck. Kevin closed his eyes. Just for today. A few days later, Nicholas's cousin Mike arrived. Mike was a music student with a radar for drama. He saw Kevin wearing Nicholas's oversized sweater at breakfast. Mike cornered Kevin. You like him, don't you? Kevin looked at Mike calmly. Why do you say that? The way you look at him. And straight guys don't wear each other's pajamas like that. Kevin smiled. You're right. I do like him. But he's straight. So don't tell him, okay? Mike panicked. You admit it? Okay, I won't tell him. But you should probably distance yourself. I tried, Kevin said. He followed me here. Kevin picked up his phone. Actually, let's test something. He sent a voice note to Nicholas. Nicholas, your cousin says I'm gay and I like you, and that normal men don't act like us. I think he's right. I'm leaving. A second later, Nicholas's reply came through, voice sweet as honey. He's joking. Ignore him. I made wontons for breakfast. Then Mike's phone buzzed. A text from Nicholas. Asterisk, get your ass upstairs. Now, asterisk.